Hey everybody, Eagle Run 23 here. Been looking at some ammo. 6.5 Grendel ammo is next to impossible to find. Also, 8.6 Blackout is impossible to find. But let's talk about some ammo prices, what's available, and how much you should be paying. I was looking around and I realized that I needed some 9mm. I didn't want to reload any. I also don't want to shoot my stockpile. So I grabbed some out of the stockpile and I was going to replace it with some stuff that I bought for new because I found 9mm ammo for as cheap as 24 cents a round. So on the whiteboard here, we are going to go over some prices that are way too high, some prices that are cheap, and some prices that are, if you need it, go ahead and get it. Let's start with the too high. Number one on the list is 30-06. Some of these, I feel like they probably just aren't being manufactured. I found 30-06 for $50 to $75 a box. And that's a box of 20. That is way too much for this. Don't buy 30-06 right now. If you can find it in the 90 cent to $1.20 range, that's about where it should be. Now, as we go through this list, I realize that there are going to be a large amount of variation from Texas to California to Florida to Michigan. There's going to be lots of different variations in prices. Also, there's lots of different types of ammunition. I was looking for mostly range quality ammo, training quality ammo. In some cases, some of the hunting caliber rounds, they didn't have like range versions, and so those prices are obviously a little bit higher, but they've always been a little bit higher. The 357 Magnum. Now, I don't own a revolver, but if I did, it would be in 357 Magnum. You should be paying anywhere from 70 to 90 cents, but unfortunately in the $40 range. Way too much for 20 rounds. All right, next on the list, 308. Now, I don't know why 308 is so high. I was able to find a couple of them that were like under $1 a round. You should be paying under $1 a round. I'm just gonna put that right here, under $1. Unfortunately, I'm seeing a box of 20, and these are not high-end bullets. This was just like some bonded stuff, just some pretty average hunting. I was seeing this stuff for $45 all the way up to $60. Way too much for a box. Okay, next on the list is going to be cheap. These are buy it now prices. And there's a couple of items on this list. Number one on the list, thank goodness 22 LR has come down. It was ridiculously expensive a year ago, if you could find it. And thankfully, I saw some 4 cents. You can even get some standard CCI stuff for 5, 6 cents a round. Those are buy it now prices. Those are, if you need some, stock up on them, take as much as they'll let you have. I did see some things that were 9 cents and even a couple of 8s. But for the most part, your standard plinking stuff in that 4, 5, 6 cents a round, buy it. Next, my favorite caliber to hate on is the 40. The 40 cal. If you'll remember back a couple years ago, this stuff flew off the shelf at crazy prices and there wasn't any more. I don't shoot 40. I'm not necessarily a fan of it. It's a fine caliber for what it does. It's just doesn't work for me. And the 40 cal, I'm seeing it right now. You can buy a box of 1,000 for 39 cents a round. I think that's cheap. It might not historically be cheap, but it's cheap for right now. If you need it, get it. Same story for the 380. I don't know if you guys were shopping for 380. If you have a 380, you probably are fully familiar with this scenario. 380 was even tougher than 40 to find, and the prices on it were crazy. I found a box of 1,000 for 40 cents a round. One of my favorite calendars, 9mm. 9mm right now is cheap, and that is what spurred this video. I was looking at reloading, and I found 9mm for 24, 25, 26 cents a round. Those are buy it prices, and I'm not going to reload it right now if I can buy it for 24 cents a round. So 24 cents a round. I saw it up to 28 cents a round. Anywhere in that range, that's a buy it now price. If you're plus 30, wait on it, and then you're still looking at your self-defense rounds being real close to about $1 a round. I did find one self-defense round that I think was 80 or 90 cents a round, but for plinking range ammo, 24, 26, 28 cents, go for it. Okay, there was several items that were in the meh category. If you need it, get it, but you probably should wait. 12 gauge buck. I almost had this on the too high because I found some stuff that was like $1.60, and at that price I'm like, wait. But I was able to go through and I was finding buck for 60 cents a round. One place even had it for 52 cents a round. If you can find buck for 52 cents a round, even back several years ago, buckshot is always, buckshot's always more expensive, than your birdshot stuff. I feel like sometimes I was like, should I buy it at 25 or 30? And sometimes I said yes, and sometimes I said no. But right now, buckshot at 60 cents, if you need it, I'd probably get it. 45 ACP. This is in the meh category because there is a wide range. Some websites had stuff that was quite a bit higher, more like 80 cents a round. And then the cheapest that I found was 50 cents. I also found a 52 and a 56. So somewhere in that range. It's a meh for me. Based on, I don't shoot this one, so I don't really stock it. I feel like this is a meh price. If you were, maybe if you were in the 40s, it would make it into the buy it now price. But for some of you guys needed 45 and you couldn't get it, it's probably definitely a buy for you. That's why it's in the meh category. All right, and then the next two are kind of interesting. 223 and 556. Now, being that 223 is a little more hunting caliber, some of the plinking stuff is relatively cheap. I found some 42s and I found some 44s that you could get 1,000 rounds of that. Now, to contrast that with the 556, this is almost in the too high category, but I found like M855. I found some of that stuff for 65 cents a round. Then I found some 55 grain as low as 53 cents a round. I wouldn't buy it at this price. I would probably wait, but if you need some, that's not bad. It's the best it's been for a little while, for sure. So it has been kind of cool to watch these ammo prices fluctuate. Being a reloader, I look at it a little bit differently than I did a few years ago, but the calibers that are hard to find, and if you have to get them, you're gonna have to pay for them. I'm paying $1.50 for Grendel. I only have a couple hundred rounds of that stuff, and I'll probably just save the cases and reload them. Some of your other calibers, 6.5 Creedmoor, you just can't find 6.5 Creedmoor. If you do, it's going to be 40, 50 bucks a box, which is, over $2 a round. And that's just too much. I'm not gonna pay those. I'm not gonna pay those prices for stuff like 6.5 Creedmoor and some of those other ones. But hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know where you're at and what prices are going on there, and maybe we can make a follow-up video. Eagle Run 23, thanks for watching.